So, you found yourself wondering if this faceless content thing is the real deal, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you really make serious cash online without ever, like, showing your face on camera?
Mm-hmm.
We decided to dive deep, really get into it
Okay.
with Chris Records' Faceless Content Academy.
Okay.
Well, actually, the free preview, to be totally honest.
Sure.
But even that, let me tell you, 7 hours of content later,
Wow.
we are back to give you the lowdown on what's what in this whole world of faceless content.
Yeah. And I've got to say, like, just the sheer amount of stuff Chris throws at you in the preview alone
I know, right?
really shows you just how much there is to this whole faceless content world.
Yeah.
It's like not just about cobbling together an AI avatar and calling it a day,
Oh, yeah.
Chris is laying out a whole system, a whole framework for this.
Yeah. And he doesn't waste any time, that's for sure.
Okay.
Like right off the bat, in episode 1, I was floored, honestly, with all the different ways you can actually create faceless content. Like, we're talking AI avatars, yeah, everyone knows about those, but also, like, tutorials, those listicle videos that are everywhere these days. It's actually kind of wild how much is out there.
Yeah.
But what I thought was really smart is how Chris really emphasizes using what he calls other people's content.
Right.
OPC.
Yeah, yeah.
Ethically, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Like, he's not saying just go out there and steal people's stuff.
Right.
But he actually gives you, like, this whole breakdown on how to do it the right way.
Okay.
And this all ties in later on with his whole clipping strategy.
Okay.
Which, we'll get to in a bit.
Right.
But, yeah, just, like, keep that in your back pocket for now. It's all connected.
Interesting. Yeah, it's like a web, almost.
Totally. Okay, so episode 2, things start to get really, really interesting here.
Okay.
Especially, I'd say, if you're, like, all about that multi-platform life,
Right. Chris breaks down this thing he calls his FIFTY social strategy.
Okay, tell me.
And get this, it stands for faceless content
Uh-huh.
on Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook,
Right.
TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
and YouTube.
Wow, so he's covering all the bases.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's leaving no stone unturned, basically.
Smart. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're going to go faceless, you got to go all in, right?
Right, exactly.
And it's not all just like theory, which I thought was really cool.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Chris actually walks you through creating actual content using Canva.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, Canva comes up a lot in this preview.
Doesn't it? It's like
Yeah.
his secret weapon or something.
Yeah, it seems like it almost. Like, he's found a way to, pump out these really great visuals
Yeah.
without needing, like, a whole fancy studio and, all that jazz.
Right. Which Canva is surprisingly powerful
Yeah.
when you really get into it.
It is, yeah. It can do a lot more than people think. And then, oh boy, episode 3, this is where things really blew my mind, honestly.
Okay.
His clipping strategy.
Okay. Clipping.
Okay, so imagine, right, taking, like, those really juicy, shareable snippets from, like, longer content.
Right.
Like those TikTok-style videos that are everywhere these days,
Mhm.
and turning them into your own, like, content gold mine, essentially.
It's interesting. Yeah.
And get this, Chris mentions that he has, like, a library of over 6,000 pre-clipped videos
Wow. That's a lot.
that you get access to. 6,000.
That's wild. So you don't even have to do the clipping yourself, really.
I know, right?
He's done a lot of the legwork for you, it sounds like.
And this is where that whole OPC thing comes back into play.
Right. It all connects.
Right. Because he's big on not reinventing the wheel, you
Right.
know? Like, he's all about using what's already out there, repurposing it, making it your own.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just, like, leave you hanging. Like, he actually includes in the full academy tutorials on how to actually personalize these clips.
Right.
So you're not just some, like, faceless robot, you know?
You're still building a brand.
Exactly.
Even if it's not your face.
Exactly.
Interesting.
It really makes you wonder, though,
Wow.
does this mean, like, the era of the influencer is over?
Right.
Are we, like, going back to the days of, like, anonymous creators and, like, username handles? Like,
Yeah, it's like Chris is almost hitting, rewind on things.
right.
Right.
Because, yeah.
It's been all about, that personal brand or showing your face, connecting with people on a
Yeah.
personal level. And now it's
Yeah, like, remember when the internet was all about being anonymous?
right.
Maybe people want a little bit of that back.
Yeah,
Like a way to keep their online life and their real life separate.
totally. And I mean, just from a purely strategic standpoint,
Yeah.
think about the scalability, right?
Right.
If you're not like the face of your own content,
Right.
you could theoretically grow exponentially. You're not limited by your own like time and energy
That's true.
in the same way.
But then there's like the other side of that coin, right?
Perhaps. Yeah.
Like, does faceless content risk losing that human touch?
Right.
You know, that personal connection that like so many people rely on.
Right. Yeah. That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that like Chris really gets into this in the Full Academy.
Okay.
Like he talks about how important it still is to have a strong brand identity,
Right.
even if there's not a like literal face attached to it.
So it's not just about like throwing content out there and hoping something sticks.
Right, exactly.
Like there's a real art to it. There's
Right.
strategy involved, just like any other business.
And that's where something like this is so valuable, right?
Yeah.
He's giving you that roadmap, that framework for like how to build a successful business.
It goes back to what you were saying earlier. Yeah.
It's a whole system.
It is. It is.
It's not just a quick fix.
And we've got to remember, like, this is huge for anyone who is like camera shy.
Oh, totally.
Or just straight up doesn't want to be, you know, front and center.
Right.
This is their way in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
This is their way to participate in this whole creator economy,
Right.
but on their own terms.
It's like he's opening the door for a whole new wave of creators.
Yeah.
Which it makes you think, like, how is this going to change, the landscape of content online?
Right.
Like, are we going to start seeing more educational content, more like informational stuff,
Yeah.
as opposed to like all the vlogs and the lifestyle stuff?
Right. Right.
Because that's everywhere right now.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Because if the bar to get in to make like really high quality content is lower
Right.
because of these tools,
Yeah.
who knows what we're going to see?
Yeah.
Like what kind of creativity
Right,
and
yeah.
innovation will come out of that. It's exciting to think about.
It is. It is.
And maybe, just maybe, it could even like force everyone to rethink like what we really want out of online content.
Yeah.
Like, is it the personality behind it?
Oh.
Or is it the information itself? What do you think?
That's what I love about these deep dives. They
Yeah.
really make you like question your assumptions.
Yeah.
And look at things in a new way.
Totally.
Who knows what's next for this whole faceless content world, but
Right.
it's definitely exciting to watch.
Yeah, for sure. It's like we're moving into this whole new world of like digital craftsmanship, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where you can be the brains behind everything, creating awesome content,
Right.
but without having to be like front and center.
Exactly. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
leveraging the tech to get your message out there.
Right.
Not necessarily to be, the messenger.
Which could be huge for people who like they have all this knowledge to share,
Right, exactly.
but they don't necessarily love the spotlight.
Yeah, they don't want to be in front of the camera.
Yeah. So it makes you think like, could this be, kind of a game changer for people who don't fit that like traditional influencer mold?
Yeah.
Could this be like the great equalizer in a way?
It's an interesting thought. Yeah, what if like the quality of the content itself is what brings people in,
Right.
not just like the personality behind it?
Exactly.
Like, you've like level the playing field so the best ideas win,
Right.
regardless of who's making it.
And maybe, and this might be a stretch, but maybe
Yeah.
it could lead to like a better, more like thoughtful online experience overall.
Yeah.
If we're not constantly like bombarded with like personalities all the time,
Right.
could we like actually engage with the content on a deeper level?
It's a nice thought.
It
A
is.
return to like content-centric internet where like ideas are what's important.
Right, exactly.
Only time will tell, but it's an exciting thought.
Totally. So there you have it.
Yeah.
That is your crash course.
You're run in the world of faceless content.
That's right.
And if your interest is piqued,
Yeah.
we definitely recommend you go and check out
Yeah, take a look at
Chris Recker's free Faceless Content Academy
Yeah,
preview.
it's free. Yeah. Can't be free.
Exactly.
Lots of good stuff in there.
Packed with great insights and strategies and, who knows, it might inspire you to go out and build your own online empire
Totally.
on your own terms.
There you go. Yeah, that's the key, right?
Exactly.
On your own terms.
Exactly.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and like most importantly, keep an open mind
Yeah,
because the world of online content is always changing.
for sure.
And the people who are willing to like adapt and innovate, those are the ones who are going to succeed.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
There you go.